why we're having inflation. I mean, everybody comes up with every excuse under the sun except the truth. There are a lot of people, they want to talk about, well, there's two kinds of inflation. You got cost push inflation, you got demand pull. That's a bunch of nonsense. Anyone who talks about cost push or demand pull doesn't understand inflation. These are Keynesian terms that were always nonsense. They were invented to rationalize inflation, not explain it. Prices don't go up because costs go up. Costs are prices. One person's price is another person's costs. Saying prices go up because costs go up is like saying prices go up because prices go up. Why do costs go up? There's no explanation there. You just can't say prices go up because costs go up. Same thing for demand pull. It's not demand that causes all prices to go up. Demand can cause some prices to go up, but then it also causes other prices to go down. For example, look at what's happening today with energy and with food. You have shortages there. And by the way, a lot of the politicians and the economists are blaming the inflation on shortages, but shortages don't cause inflation. Shortages can cause prices to go up for the items that are in short supply, but just for those items. Those shortages don't cause prices to go up throughout the economy. The general level of prices does not go up just because certain prices go up because of shortages of supply. Because to the extent that consumers are going to have to pay higher prices for food or higher prices for energy, that means they're going to have less money to buy other things. And that means demand for those other things is going to fall. And as demand falls, well, so does price. So if there's a shortage in certain goods or services and those prices go up, there will be a offsetting reduction in the price of other goods and services due to a reduction in demand. And so overall, the price level won't go up. Now, consumers are not going to be happy about having to spend more of their budget on food and energy and have less left over for other things. But spending more on food and energy doesn't create inflation. Where the inflation comes from is government. The only way that you get an increase in the general level of prices where everything goes up is if the money supply goes up. And it's that increase in the money supply that is fueling demand, phony demand that is pushing up prices. Now, of course, whenever you have excess demand created by money printing, you can always blame the resulting price increases on a supply shortage. Because of course there's not enough stuff for people to buy. If you just give people money and now they want to buy stuff, well, there's going to be a shortage of stuff. Because in a real economy, without the government creating inflation, demand comes from supply. It is supply that creates demand. If a printing press creates demand instead, well, then prices go up. You see, when people are out there working and they earn money, what they earn is a function of what they add to the supply of goods and services. Everybody has a job doing something, and what you're doing is either leading to the production of a good or the provision of a service. You either work in the goods sector, the service sector, but whatever you're doing, you're producing something, whether it's a good or a service. If you work for a manufacturing company, if you're on a production line helping to build something, you're producing a good. Even if you're not on the factory floor, even if you have a white collar job, maybe you're in engineering or design or marketing, whatever you're doing is helping to bring about the production of that good. Or maybe you're an accountant or you're a lawyer, and what you're doing is supplying legal services or supplying accounting services that other people buy. And the more money you earn, well, it's all a function of the contribution that you make to putting goods and services into the economy. So you put goods and services into the economy, and now you have money that you can use to take goods and services back out of the economy. Not necessarily the same goods and services you put in, but you help put services and goods into that big pot. And now you get money, which entitles you to withdraw some of the goods and services that you help put into the pot. You're entitled to your share when it comes to drawing out of the pot. But if the government comes in and just starts handing out money that it printed and gives it to people, and they didn't put anything into that pot, they didn't help produce any goods, they didn't provide any services, they just have a bunch of cash, well, now you have more money, but you don't have more stuff. And so now the price of whatever's in that pot has to go up because the government isn't putting anything in the pot. It's just giving people more money to take stuff out. Well, there's no more stuff in there to take out. So all that can happen is that the prices go up. So we take the same amount of stuff out of that pot. It's just that everybody has to pay more for it. And that is the only way that you actually have inflation, is when the government creates money. And so all this talk about shortages leading to inflation, about Putin causing inflation, or even that COVID created inflation, none of this is true. All of the inflation, whether it's here in the United States, it's in the Eurozone, it's in Japan, the cause is all governments, or in particular, central banks.
Before we continue, help us clicking that YouTube like button and subscribe now to our channel. This shows the algorithm that you valued this information. And it helps us spread that message. Sharing is caring. And now, let's continue.
I have bad news for you. If you're not rich by now, you're screwed. And if you're in debt, you're even double screwed. How so, you might wonder? Well, the sad truth is that you're working your whole life to make someone else rich. The mega corporations, the banks, the politicians, everyone is getting richer. They get your money. And what is even worse, they get your time, they get your life. You are not even in a rat race. You're in a financial prison. But what could a solution for you look like? Honestly, I don't know, but I know what a solution for me would look like. It's very simple. I use whatever money I have and I multiply it with 1,000. This could make my life much easier and probably yours as well. If you have $1,000 available and multiply this with 1,000, I believe that this could solve some financial issue for the one or the other. Of course, if you're ugly, you would have to multiply it with much more than 1,000. My name is Markus Dahn, and this is what I decided to do. I decided to 1000x my money. This is not a joke. I know what you may be thinking. What is this guy talking about? How should this work? This is not possible. Well, I made a detailed video where I laid out my plan. And some clever folks might even want to look at this plan and copy it and do exactly what I do. This is just a little hint on the side. You have two options. You leave, you forget what you have seen. You do whatever you're doing and you hope that somehow you get some other results. Good luck with that. Or you click the link below the video. You enter your email address, because I'm not showing this to everybody. You at least watch my video on how I plan to 1000x my money. The choice is yours. Make the right choice. Join me. See what a different future you could have. See at least how I intend, how I plan to do the 1000x. So click on the link below, enter your email address, and I see you on the other side. Your Markus Dahn.